Good afternoon. It's January 12th, 2023, and today we just had a range day. Prices in between the overnight highs and lows. Really, the lows were just the opening price from yesterday. You can see we bounced twice there. Um, the overnight highs and lows were really just made from this whatever news item happened this morning right here, and you can see we're trending down pretty and coming back, buying back to the opening price. Market open or closes in 5 minutes. So I didn't really see a lot that I liked today. We'll go through it again, but not a whole lot that I liked, unfortunately. Let's see. 5 o'clock is we're in this downtrend. Oh no, we started. Hold up, 5 o'clock. Okay, so yeah, I think the news was at 5:30. Yeah, and we were in this uptrend, but really we were just ranging before that, so there was no way to get in on this. Yeah, 5 o'clock comes right here, and then the news item happened. We just sell off. Um, if you're watching it, I mean, that's the second entry, and I would just be a little concerned about these closes. Prices bouncing off that, but it doesn't even look like they bounced there, and I'm sure. Yeah, so there's enough room for a scalp. So that's a second entry short. But that ends up failing and we go higher. Uh, Probably a little bit of a uptrend right here. Slight overshoot leads to a break. And this kind of looks like a failure, but it's above the EMA. So that's technically this is a second entry short, but it's an inside bar. Is the problem there. You can see we don't make a new high, although that looks good. And we fail to make a new low, but you can see we went a little lower than these closes. Oh, yeah, we went one tick lower than these closes. First entry, second entry, no setup, and then it just goes higher. And unfortunately, you don't got anything. Overshoot leads to a break. We get one, two legs up. That's the second entry, but you're going into the highs. We find resistance like the overnight highs, and then you get what looks like is that, yeah. So actually the failure happens right here. So that's actually, you might take that. I'll mark that here. I mean, it looks like something where we'll get another leg down, and that's exactly what happened. So I saw this in the forum. Um, Vladdy's a pretty opinionated guy, and someone drew their trend line. I think like something like this. And if you draw it like that, there's no. Here, let me. If you draw it like this, there's no close outside. So when this guy, he took a second entry short um, right here on the engulfing bar. I don't think the problem is this channel. I think the problem is that he went short on the engulfing bar. Because I'm sure there's some validity to this channel. Vladdy was saying, no, every channel has a break and new low. So I mean, and yeah, that's true. Market moves in or it has layers to it. It's a fractal. So he said this is the proper way to draw it. Okay, so you do have a close outside and a move to a new low. Um, I think either way you take it. I mean, even if you have it drawn the other way, don't take the engulfing bar, especially in this context. Like maybe on an aggressive downtrend day or something, but I don't take engulfing bars anymore. I have no clue when they work. But anyway, we get this correction. It goes sideways before selling off again. And we get this leg down, break, a couple legs down. before it corrects. You get a first entry, second entry. I mark this as green because we get confirmation, or I mean as red because we get confirmation of the trend channel right there. I think second entries like this are a bit advanced because I wouldn't feel very confident that this is the trend channel. But especially after a break of this channel and a couple legs down to a new low. But I mean, it's a lower high as well. It just looks good to test these lows. And so, and you can see when it goes below these lows, you see a slight pullback. But just the selling was too strong. And then we make this move, you get a break. First entry, second entry, but it's an inside bar. So I think you have to sit that one out. And that overshoot leads to a break, move to a new low, and we reverse. And there's just nothing in here, man. There's just not a lot of good entries. Get a close outside, two legs up to a new high, sell off, then it makes another leg up, get a break here, move to a new high, first entry, second entry, it's an inside bar, move to a new high, two legs to a new high. Actually, you got one leg, two legs to a new high, and then we get another leg up. And then we're just going sideways. And you get this failure, and you might consider that. I just liked it because I have my range lows drawn here. So it looked like a higher low back into the range, but later I moved the range down here. And we get this, I mean, really you got like a multiple test right here, like a fifth test. So, I mean, maybe you think about that with room back to the EMA. And if you draw your micros, first of all, you have a break of this channel, and you get this leg up. And if you draw this channel, you have a break and a move to a new high. So I think for that reason, maybe you take this. Come down here, nothing here. This higher low wouldn't have even triggered, but we just made a new low, so I'm not too crazy about that. Honestly, this right here kind of looks like a repeat pattern of this. You can see we get the first leg, break, first leg, break, and then a second leg with this break, move to a new high, but there's no setup or anything. And we're finding resistance at the midline. With this bullish, super bullish bar, I got interrupted. I think I was talking about this. That's a super bullish bar right here. Opens on its low, closes on its high. And you get this higher low right here that also looks very bullish. Only problem I'm seeing now is that you're going into the overnight midline. But I like that. I mean, there's so much room back to the midline of the range. About 5 points. I don't know. I like that. It's aggressive, though. Not a great setup. And then it turns out we're in this this trend up. I think this is an overshoot, but let's see if it looks better here. Yeah, not too sure. But anyway, we get this strong move up. This, I mean, you wouldn't have this trend line drawn, but that's a second entry. Yeah, unfortunately, you wouldn't have that trend line drawn. I mean, after the fact, you can see it, but there's no way to have that drawn. I mean, there is a break of this micro channel, so you might expect a new high, but not a great setup. We get a break of this channel, move to a new high, 2 legs to a new high, and then we just go sideways. And now, I mean, maybe you take that, a second entry long, but you're going into the highs. But I mean, it's just a no man's land. And that looked like congestion to me. And you can see other people thought it was congestion too. Just not a whole lot of trades today. We get the break, move to a new high, lower high, sell off. Come down here, get a break of this channel, second entry short, but it's just overlap. I don't think you can take that. Technically, that's a failure, but I don't like the setup. And we're just, I mean, it's just so choppy today. I just would rather be picky. Get this move up, break, move to a new high, and then we sell off into this congestion. What was I looking at here? Okay, so technically you get a first entry, breaks lower, second entry, but look at that doji, all that overlap. Those are 3 inside bars. I was looking at it because I was like, okay, well, what if someone argued that, I don't know, we would probably test this high or something like that, but all that congestion. Still going sideways. I like this second entry short. We find resistance at the midline of this range. We went beyond a measured move of this range. I mean, perhaps the range is like that. But I didn't see it that way. I saw the range being like that. So we find resistance at the midline, and you get a second entry short. I should probably mark that green though, because this is sideways. Come down here, first entry, second entry, but I mean, we just went above the EMA. That's not off a trend as far as I can see. Okay. All right, so that's second entry short. So gotta mark that red, because I didn't have my trend line drawn. But if you do have your trend line drawn, that is a good trade. First entry, second entry. This one's very congested. A lot of overlap, a lot of dojis in there. I don't think you want to take that. And we get this higher high, and just nothing. Just a whole bunch, a lot of garbage today, in my opinion. We'll see if tomorrow's better. So I'm not going to be able to make a video tomorrow, but I hope everyone has a great long weekend.